Hello there, Year 6, Mr. Steve is back and welcome to our science class. Today we are going to start learning about a new region in Hungary, the Transdanubian Middle Mountain Range. So if you want to analyze where this place is on a map, then it's really simple. You need to find the huge band of the Danube here, and then you just go straight downwards to the southwest. So this region is the region we are going to learn about now. So from Danube Band to the southwest of Hungary, Transdanubian Middle Mountain Range. And you can see one emblematic part of this area, the famous Danube Band. Probably you were here in the region. Visegrad is a famous place. And let's start. First, we need to remember which are the most important parts of the Transdanubian Middle Mountain Range, and some of them are nicely shown here. So if we go to the Danube Band area, it starts here with the Visegrad mountain range and Pilis-Buda mountains as well. They like calling this whole area Duna-Zug mountains. So Visegradi, Pilis-Budai mountains. I am standing right here in the Buda mountain region now, in the Duna-Zug mountains. Where are you sitting or standing now? Probably not too far from this. Then there's a much bigger range of the area, Bakony, and the smaller one in between, Vértes and Gerecse. Bakony or Bakonyi-dák, they often refer to this area like that because it's a much bigger mountain range area. So these are the basic core parts. Another map which highlights some of the important areas. Balaton Uplands or Balaton Felvidék is also a nice part north of Lake Balaton. We will speak about these later. So let's see the stone formations, which is something important. The oldest mountain range in the region is the Velence or Velencei Mountains, and this is basically like a hillock. It's not even a hill, it's so tiny, 300 something meters high. Please check your map and you can find it there. So it's a relatively small mountain. No small wonder, it's so old that actually external forces destroyed most parts of it. Even though the stone is really hard, it's crystallized granite. Look at the next category. That's the limestone mountains. And can you find out the names? So Bakony or Bakonyi-dák, Vértes, Gerecse, Pilis, and the Buda mountains where I am standing there now. So what do we call these Pilis, Buda mountains and the Visegrad mountains all together? Can you still remember them? That's the Duna-Zug mountains. Okay, so limestone in these. And there's one volcanic range, volcanic andesite, which is in Visegradi mountains. So I wanted to use these abbreviations, so you need to think about the names of these mountain ranges there. Some nice photos of the different places. Do you know this one? Visegrad, yes. And this one is in the Velence mountains. In the middle, you can see parts of limestones here on the side. And why is limestone so important for us now? It's because, you know, full of water. Karst water is inside. Karst is a Slovenian word. It's a reference to special features which are formed by water in limestone mountains. Slovenian people, geologists, analyzed these special things first, and this is why we still like using some of Slovenian words to describe these features. So why is this happening? The answer is very simple. Rainwater falls on the surface and there's quite a lot of carbon dioxide in the air plus in the soil, So all these goes into water. Carbon dioxide and water together, it's like water, mineral water with gas in it, you know, when there are the bubbles inside. And this can really nicely dissolve this stone. Why do I say nicely? Because if a human can go into these big holes and tunnels, we call these caves. We learned about these earlier. You can see the karst water level is pretty high up here, and as time passes, the dissolved areas get bigger and bigger, and finally there's a special system of tunnels and holes in the stone, and finally spring water appears on the side of the mountain. So the basics here is the stream inside, karst water. The spring water appears on the side of the mountain where there's a harder stone formation underneath, which the water cannot dissolve. Of course, it goes without saying that you need to write the title in your exercise book with the date, Transdanubian Mountains, and write down the core information. You don't need to draw these maps, but you need to write down the typical stone formations of the area. Please stop the video and you can do that. I would be happy if you could remember all the names well. After that, there are cave formations in the limestone. Let's continue. We learnt about certain cave formations basically when we learnt about internal and external forces. Stalactites and stalagmites are formed, and columns and lots of other things. Big chambers are formed because water can dissolve limestone really nicely. This is another image where you can see the things we mentioned. The water can dissolve the stone even at the top. It goes right into the stone. There are streams formed and spring water appears on the side of the mountain, and there's a harder stone which the water cannot dissolve underneath. So that's what you could see here. This is the scientific procedure happening there. You can see that the symbol of limestone is these tiny little bricks there. Rainwater full of carbon dioxide, mostly from the soil, from the air as well, but mostly from the soil. You can see that here. And carbonic acid is formed, and that dissolves limestone. Please write down the core information of that. Rainfall plus carbon dioxide from air and water and soil equals carbonic acid. This dissolves limestone. As you have quite a lot of time now, probably at home, I would be happy if you could draw a symbolic diagram of this procedure labeled with the most important parts. Again, if you stop the video, you can do that relatively easily. Okay, because this whole area is formed from big old pieces of stones, we can easily say that this is an old faulted mountain range system. Röghegység is the Hungarian name, with karst water inside. Now we know what that is. The peaks are rounded off, slopes are mined. Again, external forces had plenty of time to form these mountain ranges. Let's see the highest parts. In Vértes, there's Csókakő, that is the highest peak there. Please write this down in your exercise book again, so you can stop the video and do that. In Bakony-Kőris-hegy, there's the highest peak there. And in Visegrád Mountains, there's Dobogó-kő. Probably you were there a couple of times. And in Buda Mountains, Nagykopasz, which is 559 meters, is the highest peak at the border of Nagykovácsi and Telki. So again, this is not so far from our school, so I think this is a pretty important information for you now. Please write this down in your exercise book. And let's speak about the highlands or Balaton uplands, which has a national park. It was established in 1997, and it has a mosaic-like structure, so lots of smaller parts. Some of the important features are here. Kis Balaton, which is basically like a swamp area which can filter water, the water of Zala river. So this way only clean waters can enter the lake. That's pretty important for us. And this is a special volcano, or some parts of an old volcano, Badacsony, and or Tapolcai Basin and Keszthelyi Plateau are also famous here. Long time ago, basalt stone, which is a kind of lava, now it's rigid and cold, but a long time ago it was hot and it could flow. So this basalt could flow over the surface. This stone is so hard that only those parts disappeared next to the basalt layer, which were much softer. So this way we can see how tall the original surface was thousands of years ago, or in certain cases millions of years ago. So let's go back. Let's see the area, the size of this Balaton Felvidéki or Balaton Uplands Highlands National Park is 570 square kilometers. And just one more last thing, the resources, because these are in the mountains. So I would like to show you an image of one of them. Yeah, you can see some brown coal. Most of the time Hungarian maps like using this symbol for brown coal. In power stations they make electricity by using brown coal. They just burn the coal, they can produce steam this way, and the steam turns the turbines of the power station, and by the use of electromagnets they can produce electricity. Bauxite is something different. I would like to show you some. It's a kind of reddish special stone formation or resource. We make aluminium from it. We will learn about the whole procedure next time. But now I would like you to continue working in your workbook. So please open your workbook at the Transdanubian Mountains chapter, which is right here, page 92. And we are going to work on our map. Hopefully it's going to load in quickly. So page 92, task 4. And don't forget please that this task 4 also has a map where you need to symbolize certain things. Then we don't need the music now, but we definitely need our pen, and we would like to draw and write certain features here. So first, name the type of rock. Can you see the task? So task 4. Name the type of rock associated with each mountain, then write the corresponding numbers in the circles on the map on the next page. So they started with Bakony. Bakony mostly has limestone features, so could you please write it there? And that will be number 1. Bakony Mountains is in this region, so I will write there number 1. Number 2, Vértes is again full of different limestones, and that's going to be number 2. Please find it on your map as well. Gerecse is the next one. Again, lots of limestone features. It's right here. So I'm going to write that number 3. Okay. Next one, Visegrádi Mountains. That's a volcano. Volcanic stones are typical there, like andesite. Okay, and that's going to be number 4. It's right here, Visegrádi Mountains, and I'm going to write here 4. Okay, I'm trying to write it a bit to the north because I don't have too much space then for the rest of the mountains. Pilis is full of limestone, and it's written right here, just you can't see it now because I drew this red circle there. So that is number 5. So I'm going to write number 5 there. Ooh, my 5 is not the best, but hopefully you can see it. Budai Mountains or Buda Mountains, again, limestone features, and that is number 6. And the final one, Velencei Mountains, which is right here under my red line, and that is number 7. So crystallized granite is the stone which is typical there. Now I would like you to work on the rest of the tasks. So if you look at your workbook, page 92, task 1, 2 and 3, and then page 93, task 5, 6, 7, and then there's one more page mostly on caves, and some of them are about Balaton Highland National Park, but that's really simple, you just need to symbolize it there, north of Lake Balaton. Then page 94, 8, 9, 10. So take your time, open the book and read about the mountain range. I will help you with the page number there as well. The Transdanubian Mountains is on page 98 and 99. Hopefully you can see it well. So please read the chapter, finish the tasks, and hopefully you can remember the parts of the Transdanubian mountain range. Keep up good work. Bye bye.